Hello, everyone, and Happy New Year. This is Marianne with Akashic Inspirations, and today is Tuesday, January 1st, 2013. Today is a number 8 day, so we're talking about infinity. We're talking about strength. And so today's for the first video of the new year. I've decided to share with you what's going to be um, my journey this year and what I will be doing. Um, I just finished reading a book, and I think I mentioned it, and I gave a quote from it in one of my, I think it was the full moon video, and it's called Proof of Heaven by Eben Alexander, who is a doctor and a neurosurgeon. And when I first got this book, my son gave it to me for Christmas. And so the first thing I did, this is show you the cover of the book. It's called Proof of Heaven. I love the butterfly, the transformation. And it says, A Neurosurgeon's Journey into the Afterlife, Eben Alexander, MD. And this is what Dr. Alexander looks like. And he was on Oprah's Super Soul Sunday, and she was able to speak with him. So when I received this book, I really didn't have a chance to even get into it and start reading it right away. So I said, oh, let me just see what messages. I always like to open a book and see what message it has for me. So when I opened the book, just like this, and I got to a one-page chapter that really is a great summary of the message of the book. And things don't happen by coincidence. And all of this ascension process, all of this 1221, this 1212, what it is bringing us, or the message is that we're going into this, working in what is the fifth dimension, which is the energy of love. And that's going to be what is my goal for the year, is basically working in the energy of love. And from that is which everything else will fall into place. So this is from page 95, chapter 18. The chapter is called To Forget and to Remember. And I want you to pay attention to it's a very simple book to read. It's not a complicated book. It's not written at neurosurgeon level. It's very plain writing, very to the point, so that we understand, really get what is the message. So I'll start with the first chapter. It says, My awareness was larger now. So large, it seemed to take in the entire universe. Have you ever listened to a song on a static-filled radio station? You get used to it. Then someone adjusts the dial, and you hear the same song in its full clarity. How could you have failed to notice how dim, how far away, how entirely untrue to the original it was before? Of course, that's how the mind works. Humans are built to adapt. I explained to my patients many times that this or that discomfort would lessen, or at least seem to lessen, as their bodies and brains adapted to the new situation. Something goes on long enough, and your brain learns to ignore it, or work around it, or just to treat it as normal. So in other words, I kind of want to take it a little, I love to analyze, so I want to take it a little bit step by step to build it up to the message. And it's, if we settle for less than full glory and full love, then we'll just get used to living in suffering and in pain and in discomfort, and to always settle for whatever it is that we think we're allowed to get. And so he goes on and says, but our limited earthly consciousness is far from simply normal. And I was getting my first illustration of this as I traveled even deeper to the very heart of the core. I still remembered nothing of my earthly past, and yet I was not the less for this. Even though I'd forgotten my life down here, I had remembered who I really and truly was out there. I was a citizen of the universe, staggering in its vastness and complexity, and ruled entirely by love. When we come to this earthly plane, we forget. We forget where we came from. It's also an assistance so that we can live in this three-dimensionality that we have here, to be able to function on this realm. But our goal is to remember and be aware of really that connection that we have with love. In almost an eerie way, my discoveries beyond the body echoed the lessons I had learned just a year earlier through reconnecting with my birth family. Ultimately, none of us are orphans. We are all in the position I was, in that we have other family, beings who are watching and looking out for us, beings we have momentarily forgotten, but who, if we open ourselves to their presence, are waiting to help us navigate our time here on earth. And that was the message that I got yesterday, that there is an angelic army, an angelic legion headed by Archangel Michael, that are here, that are working with us, that are here for us, that are loving us. We have our angels, our archangels, our guides, our teachers, our masters, all on another plane, there supporting us, loving us. Why? Because they have been given to us by the divine, because the divine understands what it is that we are here to do. And we are here to co-create for the expansion, not only of ourselves, of the universe, of God and the divine himself. It says, none of us are ever unloved. Each and every one of us is deeply known and cared for by a creator who cherishes us beyond any ability we have to comprehend. We in this physical dimension cannot comprehend the vastness. That's why we're limited to this time and space, and it works in this manner, because we've chosen to have these limitations. However, we have the ability through free will to choose our direction and how we're going to co-create. The last sentence is, that knowledge must no longer remain a secret. And that is what I'm going to be working towards, that we are loved. We are love. We are the energy of love and the vibration of love. I was speaking with one of my best friends this morning and kind of recapping the messages that we've been receiving between yesterday and today. And something came to her attention on prosperity and abundance that I'd like to share with you. And it talks about how we always think we have to keep the intention. This is what we want to manifest. This is, what I want to bring into my life, etc., etc. Well, we're concentrating on the wrong thing. The correct thing is to have the ability to allow the abundance to come into your life. You have to have certain conditions. The conditions have to be there so that this abundance can come into your life. So how do we do that? How do we create the conditions? By working in the energy of love, by finding the connection with the I am presence within you, by seeking that higher communication with the divine. That is how you allow prosperity to come in. I'll share just a small example. The last couple of days after my healing with Stephen and from the Anointed One, and I'll again put his website down at the bottom of this for the link. It really opened me up spiritually to allow me the deeper connection with the I am presence, which I wrote about in my blogs of the 30th and of the 31st. And out of the blue, I get a call from a friend that she's been invited to a party for the 31st, and that they're looking for someone to give readings to people on the 31st, and that they were going to pay a very good amount of money. So I turned to my son. We happened to have been at the monastery at the time, and I was in, of course, my connection with love and Saint Bernard de Clairvaux. And I wasn't thinking about anything else. I was just thinking about my connection, the peace and beauty of the area, the special moments that I was sharing with my son. And I was just truly happy, just being content, being in love. And so they gave me this offer. And I thought, what a way to start the new year. I really didn't have big plans. I was just going to be home, sharing with my brother and his children and mine. I thought, well, do I want to give that up? I said, you know what? It's time for a new experience. Something to do something that I've never done before. And I've never done, readings like that back to back. Well, last night, I thought, oh my gosh, how am I going to have the energy to do all this? And as I did each reading, I got more energized and more energized. By midnight, I had done 9 readings, and I was soaring. I was soaring at the pinnacle of my energy and vibration of love. So that is what I brought into this new year, and that was my message. That was my message from my angels, from Archangel Michael. This is the vibration, this is the energy that you will allow all other things to come in. You will allow healing, you will allow prosperity and abundance, you will allow relationships into your life. This is how you have to achieve it, by being the energy of love, being in this energy, achieving this level of connection with the divine source. So I wish you many blessings for today and for this new year. And I will continue to share my journey and give you evidences of how working in the energy of love gives prosperity, abundance, and joy, and giving you clues as to how you can also achieve it for yourself. That is my goal, is to help you get to your own connection with Source and love. So I wish you a happy, happy new year, joyous, full of angels and choirs rejoicing. I send you blessings. Namaste.